Welcome back to Everything Whiskey. I'm Callum.
I'm Sam.
And today we're having a look at the Canadian Club 12.
So, what? We don't even have the regular Canadian Club. We got like
That was extremely close.
we got.
We've tried the regular Canadian.
What do we got? We got Pike Creek.
Pike Creek's the only
It's the only Canadian
whiskey.
whiskey we have. And we didn't want to get Canadian Club like the general just CC that you mix with everything.
We both had it, so.
Because one, I've had it, two, don't like it, and three, it's not even 40% in Australia, so I don't really want to call it whiskey.
I think it is.
Nah, it's 37.
Is it?
Yeah.
No.
But then we saw this, $65. Still, and it is 40%. I mean, we celebrate the bare minimum. Yeah, so 12 years old. Canada does things a little bit differently. Historically, there's no way there's no food dye in this.
Yeah, it's definitely coloured with E150 for sure.
There's no chance. It's not focusing, but you can see the color. It's darker than the Aberlour Abernard and stuff like that. Like it's so dark. There's no chance that there's not some food dye in here. And I think Canada does allow a lot of kind of like I think they're a bit airy fairy with their with their regulations. Historically, they would make they wouldn't have like traditional mash bills. They wouldn't have, you know, this percent of that all together in the mash and then distill it. They would traditionally make a mash of the individual grains separately and distill them. And then blend them together like after they've been aged to create a flavor profile, which is very different, and it makes it very hard to kind of like come up with any sort of legal designation except for Canadian whiskey. But yeah, so I don't know if that'll make much of a difference in the long run. Oh my god.
And it's so ethanol-y.
It smells like maple syrup and a bit of soy sauce. Maybe that's the secret ingredient. It makes it so dark.
It's ethanol with a fake vanilla for me, immediately.
There's some dark like sweetness, but it smells fake. It smells like rum. It's like that gross. For some reason we can't do rum. Like we've been having it neat though, which is maybe our mistake. Maybe we need to start the same way you do with whiskey. But from our experiences, you know, very few they are, but still they've been not great. This has that not enjoyable rum sweetness. I don't know what it is.
It does smell like the original CC though.
I don't even remember it. I do not remember it.
There's more dark flavours and dark notes on this nose though.
And more dye. More food dye.
Yeah, it's very fake flavours.
It tastes like a bit like rum. It's like that sugar cane.
Whoa, that's just sugar sweet.
It's super sweet.
Almost syrup, because it's like...
It is kind of like maple syrupy, but a bit more of that rum sharpness to it. That weird like...
Yeah, it's got like a rum
ethanol-y
twinge.
grapey.
Weird,
yeah, it is. It's definitely got some heavy rum notes for me. And I'm not a big fan of that. I can't get over the colour, that's insane.
I reckon this would be a great mixer. Like a great mixer.
Yeah, that'd be alright.
Those really rich, thick maple syrupy flavours.
Yeah, they would not...
With a Coke or like an ale.
An ale!
A ginger ale or something like that would...
More ale!
I reckon it would match perfectly.
Yeah, I think that there's nothing in this that would fight any other flavours that if it was mixed with it, but there's enough of itself to be noticed in a drink.
So yeah, we're going to compare the Canadian Club 12 with Pike Creek. We have reviewed this probably about a year ago now. I'll link it up above if you guys want to go watch it. It was a Zoom episode because we were deep in quarantine when we reviewed this. And it was probably the last time I drank it as well.
Way sweeter on the Canadian Club nose.
Really?
On the nose. It's like a denser, more sweet.
It's got more body, it's more body but sweeter.
Yeah.
That doesn't really smell like anything.
No, it doesn't. It smells just kind of ethanol-y. Oh, dude, that tastes like nail polish remover. This is somehow better, and I don't like either of them.
Oh!
It it's got that same weird nail polish remover rum.
Oh!
rum.
That's so ethanol-y.
It's very ethanol-y. But I'm kind of concerned that it's not technically whiskey. Or like it is in... Because it says crafted with whiskey. So is it kind of like a Seagram's deal where it's like... It's not actually all... I guess... No, because like when they... As I mentioned before, the way they like blend the individual grains after they've been distilled and aged separately. So then like... I don't even know what whiskey is in Canada then. Because...
What is whiskey?
What the I don't understand. I don't know. So I don't know what this could be.
Anyway, this is a whole... this is just better.
I was gonna say it could be neutral grain, like percentage of neutral grain spirits, but like isn't that how they do it anyway? Because they do it all separately and then blend it together.
I don't even think we brought that up in the review, so...
No, I don't think we did either. Look, again, we're just kind of like confused at this point about legal designations and stuff. That doesn't affect the objectivity of how it tastes though. It's very sweet. Not a fan of that rummy ethanoliness, but it is still goes down quite easily. I wouldn't say it's not smooth.
Yeah.
Like to a regular kind of drinker, this was probably friendly and easy. Make a great mixer, could make a decent gift because it's 12 years old, and maybe someone like they always a CC and dry person. They always get CC and dry,
That's
and then for their present you get them a CC 12. It's kind of like that makes a lot more sense.
That's what I was going to say. It seems like it's aimed at people that drink CC, so that like just the next step up to make that mixer even better.
Yeah,
I don't think it's meant to drink.
It's definitely not my cup of tea.
No, I don't really.
It's not my thing.
I mean, they're doing well for themselves, obviously, but it doesn't.
I don't think they give a damn what people think. People like us.
It just doesn't
clearly hitting enough of the market to be making a killing. I would like to taste more Canadian whiskies that might have more of a kind of less of a mass market approach to it. So if any of you guys have tasted some Canadian whiskies that you've actually enjoyed and think were quite interesting, leave those down in the comments below, because I would like to find some Canadian whiskies that are a bit more like...
I want to get more into Canadian, because
I just don't know where to go with Canadian,
3.
because there's very little options, especially in Australia. The only options are seemingly these mass marketed ones.
If you have like a crafty one, let us know that as well, because we might be able to pick it up, because there are some crafty whiskey stores in Victoria. So.
But yeah, apart from that, it smells like rum.
Yeah.
Apart from that, yeah. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Everything Whiskey. If you enjoyed it, leave us a like. If you want to see future episodes from us, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. If you do, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.